This video is a bit different from usual, but today I'm going to debunk every anti-Gen Alpha argument that I know. Argument 1. They can read is probably the most baseless out of all of the arguments. This sentence alone proves it wrong. This is one of the few arguments with some truth to it. However, in your average conversation, you won't find much Gen Alphas speaking brain rot. Actually, most Gen Alphas don't use brain rot in their everyday conversations. If you're talking about writing in general, then that's not true, because I wrote the script for this video on my own. But if you're talking about handwriting, well, it's still not true, because I can write with my hands too. Saying the majority of Gen Alpha is bad is a hasty generalization fallacy. Just because you saw a few iPad kids, if those even exist, doesn't mean the majority of a generation is bad. Saying we only know 6 and 7 and not 8, 9, and 10 is insanely baseless, even more than the first claim, because I know every number from 0 to 999 November if you don't count negatives. This is very, very incorrect. If you say 6, 7 in a classroom full of Gen Alpha kids, most of them will dramatically sigh at you while giving dirty looks. And some others actually started a YouTube channel against 6, 7. This one is also baseless in its entirety. This video alone is proof that this isn't true. Some people try saying that I have an AI voice, but that's obviously incorrect. This argument is also unfounded. There's a little bit of truth to it, because most little kids rely on their parents, but this argument talks about Gen Alpha as a whole, which is incorrect in that situation, as this video is also proof that that isn't true. Now this one is 100% a stereotype. I've gone my entire life without even touching an iPad once, and somehow I need it. Do these people fact check it all before making such claims? This one's simply not true. The creator of 6, 7 as a meme was a Gen Z, and so was the creator of Italian brain rot. People love saying Gen Alpha slang was made by us, when it was literally made by some people on Gen Z and millennials. This one's also just not true. From the previous debunk, we know that it isn't Gen Alpha that makes brain rot. And since most people watch their own work, I'd imagine that the Gen Zs and millennials who made brain rot also watched brain rot. This is just an appeal to biased authority fallacy. Just because some people within Gen Alpha think it's doomed, doesn't mean that it is doomed. This one is one of the most common arguments for why Gen Alpha is doomed. They say that the teachers quit en masse, hundreds every day, all because of Gen Alpha. But that's just not true. There are so much teachers on Earth that theoretically hundreds of them would be leaving every single day. And somehow that's Gen Alpha's fault. A lot of the teachers blame their quitting on Gen Alpha, but that's on them. Just because you can't teach kids doesn't mean it's the kids' fault. This argument is just utter bullshit. People like to say, but Gen Alpha can't do math at all. No, that's not true. There are Gen Alphas who even got a university degree. That requires knowledge in math. What's even funnier is that a lot of people tried to challenge us with math problems because they thought we couldn't do it, but all of us Gen Alphas effortlessly solved them. Many anti-Gen Alpha YouTubers often say this phrase to justify them attacking Gen Alpha, but we all know that they aren't fighting for Gen Alpha, otherwise they wouldn't be defaming us for views and money. This is also one of the most common arguments for why Gen Alpha is doomed, but it's one of the easiest to refute as it's a textbook example of a bandwagon fallacy. Not only is this claim a bandwagon fallacy, but the studies only got their info from a cherry-picked dataset. Just because 28% of kids own an iPad doesn't mean that 2 billion people are becoming undead creatures. And as I mentioned before, all of these supposed iPad zombies are either one-offs or fake completely. This is yet another hasty generalization fallacy. This point is also recycled crap and incorrect. If you ask any Gen Alpha to watch something 10 seconds long, they'll easily get through all of it. And I was even able to watch an hour-long video in one sitting back when I was 6. But what makes this claim even dumber is that if you get a classroom full of Gen Alpha students to do a test, the test can easily keep their attention for more than 30 minutes, or however long the test goes. A lot of people like to say, well, if Gen Alpha is so dumb now, then when they get older, they'll still be dumb and they'll be bad doctors. Well, this is just simply not true. All the proof that Gen Alpha is exceptionally dumb now is fabricated. And even if they were dumb, just because they were dumb when they were younger, doesn't mean they'll be dumb when they're a doctor. Anyone who believes this argument is delusional on an uncountable amount of levels. Gen Alpha does value education. We all want to graduate. If we don't value education, then how are there Gen Alphas who are in college or finished university by now? Exactly. I've already debunked this claim, but many people have called me racist for comparing saying stupid black people is equivalent to saying stupid Gen Alpha kids, because they can't control the fact that they're minorities. But a lot of people misinterpreted what I said, and they thought I said that they couldn't control that they're stupid, even though they aren't stupid. Whoever thought of this 40% number 100% pulled that info out of their ass. In reality, it's closer to 20%, and out of those 20%, the vast majority of them are under the age of 4. This is a blatant, unfalsifiable fallacy. Whenever I debunk this claim, they're like, yeah, you just proved my point by saying that. No, I'm not. If you have any other arguments that I should debunk, please tell them.